Hi everyone, this is Susie from Minnesota Zone 4, and this is going to be probably not a weekly garden tour anymore, but tour number 14. It was just a really busy month. I had the remodel going on, and now it's September. I do feel kind of bad because we've had lots of wind storms and things look okay, but other things not so well. This whole area has really done what I wanted it to do this year. I will repeat this next year. I love how the grasses are getting their flower heads on it. Seed heads, flower heads. Let me know what you call them. Plumes, fluffiness. I do love this. Love pulling up and seeing this whole combination here. I had filmed this tour last week and the wind was just crazy, 30-mile-an-hour winds, and I was just trying to get it in for August, and I played it back. I hated the sound quality, plus the cicadas. You can hear them now, but at least I don't have the wind to contend with. I had to trim up this shrub here so it looks really stupid, just straight down, but I always have my ceilings redone too, and like I had to get in here to the hose, and this was getting busted, so that's okay. These shrubs do need trimming up. Just I will do it next year, probably late winter, early spring. Hostas are starting to look pretty ratty. And that's kind of common for this time. Slug damage, browning. I might dig up some of my Solomon seal and put it in that new area. I love this plant. I'm going to try and make this a little quicker here, just kind of showing how things look at, well, it was supposed to be the end of August, but now it's September. So like this right here, and this is what things start to look like. I think I'm going to move this one into the new area, and this fern back here, which is just getting hidden, I might move that forward. The grasses have really filled out, and I'm very happy just because I'm pretty sure they're more of a zone 5 than a zone 4. The heuchera here is really liking it. That's rooted in nicely. I had moved it from that area by the whiskey barrel. I've stopped laying down slug bait. It's getting late in the season, at least for my zone, and it doesn't pay. Back here I had a curly fries hosta. That's something just chewed down. I'm going to leave it, see if it rebounds for next year. And this is normal for snow in the mountain. Happens every time this year. Turtle head over here is just starting to bloom. This has really filled out this year. I think previous years I might have had maybe a fourth of that size. This is a honeysuckle bush. It is native to here. It's doing really good. Just have to keep that one in check. It does like to run. And I think the warmth of the house too, it could take over. So I do have to be careful. My Asiatic lilies, let me know if your foliage starts looking like this. Just looks really icky. And this one isn't too bad. There are some other areas, but this is a drier area because it's, well, the drainage here is really good. What amazes me, I'm trying to figure out, there is no slug damage on any of these hostas here. And maybe it is just because it is, well, it's on the south side, but next to the foundation of the house. Very good drainage, a little drier, but I mean, nothing. No complaints. I think that's wonderful. I noticed I have a weed in here, but I was going to go pull it, and there's a bunch of little pricklies on it. I always have my gloves on when I weed. I ended up getting into some stinging nettle, burning nettle, and ooh. This one looks a little because this is one I moved before, so, not before, this season, I want to say in June. Been watering that constantly, and I'm okay with it looking like that. We've had plenty of rain, so that's not the issue. I haven't moved my comfrey yet. I'm going to do it. That's kind of an eyesore. I will save the leaves and either put it around plants or maybe make some comfrey tea. I will be moving this hosta back here because it's called king size hosta. It's just not going to do good. I might move it right here. I don't know. I'm just going to, I'll go through this way first. Then I'll tell you about my plans. These hostas will be moved. It's just, it's so wet. I'm hoping I can get to it before I freeze. And then here, I just left this. This was my Simicifuga. I will move it. I just don't know where yet. It doesn't like too wet a condition either. It will end up rotting. I've had that happen with another one. If you can see, it's got its flower head here. Where are you? Right there. Not blooming yet, but it has such an amazing fragrance. So I do urge you to plant this. Lots of leaves falling. So it will just be my sum and substance here, and I think that'll be fine. They're quite a spectacular hosta. I will be digging up all my caladiums here, trying to overwinter them. They are so pretty. And who knows, I'm thinking next year, even if I can get half to overwinter, and that would be nice. I might put them in other areas of my garden just because I have a feeling all of this will be filling in at some point. This is a hardy geranium, and that tends to get pretty big. That looks really, you can even see, it's kind of cool how it's grown in there. That's done really good this year. The sun might affect the quality of this video, but it feels so nice. It was a little chilly. These hostas, I have to figure out, because I know I'm starting to see kind of the crown of the plant or the roots. So any excess soil, I'll just kind of cover that. They'll get mulched. I mulch, just because according to our Farmer's Almanac, we're supposed to have even a worse winter. How is that possible? Last year was absolutely brutal. I think I might even put a hosta in here and here. I know these get big, but they're slow growers. They have the competition of the tree roots. But just to kind of fill that in, and I'll be digging up a lot of hostas and splitting. Nothing in this area. It's all just going to stay. I do not want the lily of the valley traveling with it. I'm trying to keep it contained in this area. At some point, I might just do something. It can have its little fun in that area. I was thinking about the Empress Wu, digging her up, but There's lily of the valley in that. Anywhere there's a really aggressive grower, I just leave the plants. I do like this one. That is just so vibrant looking. What am I saying? I like them all. Even this has really taken over. I do have to be careful. It's even growing into the grass. That I control by the lawnmower. Don't you just love how that sun looks? Just kind of the rays coming through. I know it's not doing wonders for the video quality, but I'm appreciating everything I can, because I know in a month's time I'm going to be hunkering down. Love this shrub. I do not know the specific name for this. I know a lot of you say it looks like knotweed. I've had it here for at least 5 years, and that's all it's done. Gardening in a zone 4 has lots of challenges. It's not an easy climate. And this whole area back here is wet. So that's also a huge issue. I've tried so many things, and it looks like the natives just pull through. I trimmed up this great blue lobelia. It's kind of neat because it just keeps on blooming. You can see some seed heads there. And I don't care if it goes to seed, honestly. I don't have a formal garden. And I never will. There's a lot of maintenance required for that. And I know a lot of formal gardens have boxwoods. Well, boxwoods don't do well in my climate either. They get the winter burn, and it's no thank you. And see, that's the foliage of the Asiatic lily. I'm thinking maybe it looks like this because it's just a wet area. I mean, and it is the end of the growing season here. Even the daylilies are looking gnarly. Here's a better look at the Asiatic lilies. I don't like that, but I do love it when they're blooming. I can't believe the kids are back in school. We had a nice summer. I just feel like it always goes so fast. My nieces and nephews were just bummed. This pagoda dogwood has gotten huge. I just love, love, love this tree. Small little tree. I can still hear those hummingbirds. They have like the little fluttering vibration of their wings. Giant fleece flower, I've left the seed heads. At this point, I just kind of maintain and just trim up as I have to. This is a persicaria. I love the foliage on that. And then in here, I have an astilbe. I'm going to move into the new area. You can see these hostas are getting a little squished. There's a hosta back here. That's just being taken over. The turtle head here is amazing. I like the taller variety. This is a good spot for it too. It just kind of surrounds the bench. And it's a bee magnet. I have to be careful because they go into the little flowers. If I can show you. It's early morning, so activity is just starting. Aren't they cute? And yeah, the flowers do look like little turtle heads, a little mouth. late season bloomer. I love it. Offers some color. And even when it's not offering color, it's offering some really beautiful structure. And that dies down to the ground. And then these hostas too, you can see lots of slug damage. I think I'm going to move those. And then I'll probably split that black-eyed Susan, move a portion here. The foliage of the primrose is starting to turn purple, which is neat, but also dying back too. You can see there's this kind of, here if I can move this, right down here. My sister, I had so many rocks, so she decided to paint a bunch of these rocks and make caterpillars, which it's kept its color and it's really neat, but it's being hidden, but that's okay. It's its own little home. But she did one with some really huge rocks, and she had sold it at a craft fair. I wanted that one in the worst way. It was just amazing. This right here is the anemone. I don't have luck with anemones. I'm thinking my climate is just a little too I'm hoping it likes it here. I'm fine if it spreads and I can move it other places. It is a little drier here, so maybe that'll help. I had one long time ago, and it was a white one, and it blooms like later spring, and I had it by the house over here. It just stayed in a clump, but it got really big. I decided to divide it, move it. Not one survived. If this is aggressive, I have to be careful because it is a little close to the edge here. I guess if I had to, I could probably make this a little more shapy. It's curved here. Come in, maybe I can curve around. I just kind of make it easy for mowing lawn, because I'm the one who has to mow it, so I have to keep that into consideration. Gonna swing you over here. Sedum is just starting to bloom. I will do the Chelsea chop next year. So I'm kind of trying to shade my eyes because the sun is in them. Clematis is still looking really good. I'm very happy with this year. Hopefully it lives next year. I had that happen with Sweet Summer Love Clematis, where it had died to the ground, came back, was absolutely magnificent, and then the next year it was done. It was like it put on its last show. Roses have a little blooms left. I love this daylily. That one, I'll get back there real quick. I gotta speed this up. I'm just talking too much. Caladiums are doing good that the squirrels planted. It's my radish that I'm leaving go to seed. Okay. I will do a tour of my vegetables. Definitely some ups and downs with them, but that's an all gardening. This I'm just letting it die, and then I can compost it. I have too much green, so I need that to brown. That's been a lot of my Mexican sunflowers that have been just breaking off. Joe Pye, just starting to blossom. I probably trimmed it back a little bit late, but it is blossoming. And this one's doing a little bit better, maybe because it's getting a little more sun. Has a beautiful scent on it too. Oh, yeah, that came down in the wind. It's the first time this year. Otherwise, we've had a calm season. Just probably gonna stop right here. No more blooms on the honeysuckle. I love it when that's not moving for a tour. Oh, this is starting to change color. Lots and lots of branches down. I took my dog for a walk yesterday, and it was a windy day yesterday too, and so many branches down from the storm. Huge. I shouldn't even say branches, they look like trees. My morning glory is climbing all over, going into the Joe Pie. Oh, and it's blooming down there. Really? I don't think that gets any sun there. Okay, walking back through. I've had to do a lot of staking in this garden, so it's, I don't know, it looks okay. You got the gladiolas here that I planted that are starting to come into bloom, and aren't they gorgeous? Yes, they're floppy, but I cut all of them and I bring them in. I haven't gotten to these yet. I will get to them today. This white one here is, if you can see, be careful, the bees are starting to come out. So between this and the dahlias, I've just been having cut flowers. And you can see I have some coming along here. All of these I did some staggering of the planting, so I got color the whole summer at different times. I wish I had a picture of this one, the Nosferatu. Have a couple left. Maybe I'll do a quick video on what those blooms look like. Be careful when deadheading these, because they stain your fingers. I leave them go a little bit so they're not quite so juicy. I have a cage around this coneflower here. Lots of deadheading to do. I'm kind of done staking though. At this point, I really am. This sedum looks really pretty. I don't like how it's split in the middle, but again, I'll do the Chelsea chop. I will see if that works. I can just stand back and it is a really pretty color though. Love that banana. I just absolutely love it. I don't think I'll overwinter that because some people say it's just easier to grow one new every year. A little spendy, but the foliage looks a lot better. Got a blossom going on here. These roses have been blossoming on and off throughout the entire summer. I've been very pleased by these. And they've put on some really good growth too. I do like the black-eyed Susan here, or Rudbeckia. It's kind of poking. Oh, and then isn't that a pretty combo? That salmon peachy color with the purple. The Russian sage is pretty. A little floppy, but the winds always come that way. We always have south winds and it just blows it. And I'm okay, but the color is still so pretty. But yeah, I was saying in a different video, I was thinking about doing a hardy hibiscus back there for a bigger flower. The yellow's okay, but it's also not doing what I thought would get a little bit taller. But I also had thought about doing phlox. And there's a kind called David, because that gets that big white head on it. I think that'd be, and taller too. So that might be okay. Hardy hibiscus in my zone can be a little tricky sometimes. That's why I'm just debating. I still don't know how I feel about those. They are blooming. There's nothing wow about them. Or this coneflower I've tied up. And I hate doing that because it kind of takes away the whole natural feel of a garden. But, oh, and then my Gloriosa daisy, that was from the arch. I think that's where the dragonfly was. That's okay. I shouldn't be complaining because there's a hurricane going on and this is minor. So, no more complaining. Everything looks really good. This phlox was absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately, it's coming to an end. That's why I love the phlox. And so far, no powdery mildew. It's pretty amazing for as wet as we've been, and we're a very humid climate. Strawberries have been doing great. I've picked 2 already. Very happy with that, and that's pretty good because this whole area does not get full sun anymore. Not at this time of the year. Let's see, should I walk through this way? Bee balm has a little powdery mildew. I'm hoping I get maybe another flush of flowers before the season's done, but we'll see. Still my favorite coneflower. This one is a little smushed, you can see, I'm sure. That surprises me. That arch has never gone down. I had that staked and I'm just amazed. Favorite rose. This is the fact that it's that tall. I would say it's 3 feet. Unreal, considering it was maybe not even a foot at the beginning of the growing season. At this right here, be careful. Oops, let me just... Walking in here is a little tough. This is a corkscrew vine, and so far the flowers haven't opened. They may not. I think they're supposed to open. At least have blooms on them. This rose has just been awesome all season. Flowers non-stop. The scent is amazing. Lots of little bees. Okay. This looked way better in the other tour I did. But I will say I urge all of you to plant Mexican sunflower. And the only reason is because it's not now because it still is early. The monarchs absolutely love this above everything else. I was very good at deadheading until it got too tall for me to reach. It does look messy. Next year I'm going to have to figure out another way to stake it. Maybe tomato cages. Some really heavy-duty tomato cages. I've had a lot of breakage. I'm going to try and get to the other part. Let's see. Well, let me show you this first. Oh, and then I also have all these glads that are coming along. Can't wait. Lots of color. I even had to stake up the grasses and tie them up because they were flopping due to everything. But look at the flower heads or seed heads. Don't they look really cool? I do like it when the wind is blowing because it just kind of sways. Don't know if I want to backtrack. Don't want to bore you guys. But I can't get through the other way. Right here, I'll see if I can zoom in. This one looks the best. Otherwise, they've all broken. But yeah, everything loves it. The bees, the hummingbirds, and the butterflies have been crazy. Swallowtails, monarchs, any kind of butterfly. I will be planting this again next year. And I love the purple here, and then the grass, and then the way this kind of looks here. I was thinking about doing tomatoes, but that area is enough. That's more than enough tomatoes for me. It's so pretty. I would have liked to have gotten it a tour before it looked this ratty, but this is gardening. I have some blooms on my bloomering lilac. I don't know if you can see up there. Not much. It puts on its biggest show in the spring. But it's a really, really, really nice lilac. Maybe a little floppy, but the hydrangeas still look amazing. This one for sure is a little lime. Look at the size of that head. I'm trying to figure out a way to stake these up so they don't get so floppy. But they're huge. I mean, when you think from here to here, that's got to at least be 8 feet. So I've got a huge plant in there. I just love how they turn to this blush color. I have an aunt who's jealous. She came over the other day and she has such issues with deer, so she has a hard time growing these. I do feel bad. I don't have any deer issues. My biggest issue are just squirrels. So I guess I can't complain. She also has woodchucks, but she lives by the river. Lots of wildlife. And this is the newest one because it starts out white and then turns, but look at that. That's on a sturdy stalk here though, so that's not going anywhere. So yes, they may be a bit floppy, but I also can't complain because I haven't had to water any shrub, any perennial at all this year. And I love how this looks. Let's see if I can, oh yeah, and with one of the storms, it whipped the paddle boat and it fell over, so I haven't taken it out yet. I hope there's no cracks in it. Probably be in the middle of the lake when I realize it. But yeah, I just love walking up here, driving up. This one I like too. It's different. It's a little more airier. But as you can see, it's not quite as floppy because of that. But look. And all of these hydrangeas are paniculatas. I know I have, I'm trying to think, a little lime, pinky winky, vanilla strawberry. I don't know the other one. I know not Annabelle. I don't have that. That's not a paniculata one. I did grow that one year, but it rotted out in my back garden. It drowned. That was my fault. Wondering if, is there a peachy? But I love this view. And coming up here, I love walking through here. It just, I had a friend who came back here and she's like, oh my God, it just kind of opens up to the secret garden. That was probably the neatest compliment or comment I could get from anyone. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I can see that. Gardening is a lot of work, so when it's rewarding as far as just watching. Well, you saw the hummingbird, the two, that was really neat. And just, I wish the butterflies would be out. I might have to do a little film in like mid-afternoon when they're just crazy. So yeah, so this is what my garden looks like. Well, it was supposed to be the end of August, but now it's September 4th. So hopefully you enjoyed. The tour might have been a little bit long, but my next tour, I can guarantee it's not going to look pretty. Bye for now.